Check the audio.
Fire away.
And go ahead and hit the lights.
Okay.
You want to say Rhett? Commercial King?
All right, here we go.
Huh?
Five,
You'll say live?
I'm doing super.
4, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from an undisclosed location in Los Angeles, California, this is...
Commercial King!
Yeah, you know what's up.
Live!
It's as live as it gets, people. We are on the internet. We are on television at the same time. There's a screen down here. We are watching IFC, where we happen to have a television show. It's called RhettandLink Commercial Kings. Have you heard of it?
There it is right there. If you're watching at home, this is how this works. Put IFC on your television and put us on your computer. Put one eye on us and the other eye on the television screen.
And so it probably helps to keep those screens like in a linear formation.
Pretty close to each other.
Put one in your lap and put one like in an armoire. And it's your choice which one you want to put where.
And if you happen to just be, outside of the country or you don't have IFC, remember, we're going to be releasing a lot of stuff over at ifc.com, clips from the show, the commercials from this episode. They'll both be out there on the internet by Monday. And if you're in America and you don't have IFC, you can download RhettandLink Commercial Kings tomorrow on Amazon, iTunes, and Xbox Live.
The first thing I noticed, in watching my television show is that I've never watched my television show before because I've never had one. This is a thrilling thing for me, and must I say that I'm thrilled. And I'm thrilled that you joined us. Thanks for being here. I'm thrilled that the sun chose to be right behind your head. But why do you get to be the one who looks angelic? You can look angelic, but I can be angelic.
I've got better hair than you, Link.
What, the sun is not part of your hairdo.
Right now we're watching when we first met Margaret Hughes, owner of Holiday Hotel for Cats. What a sweet lady.
Yeah,
I have actually put in a request with the county commissioner for her to adopt me as her grandson.
I've put in a request for her maybe, I'm just saying maybe, to be a special guest here on the live broadcast, the live internet broadcast next week. So if you like what you saw when you saw Margaret, if you wish that she could keep your cats, if you have questions directly for her, I'm not making any commitments here because we don't have a commitment from the one, the only, the Miss Margaret, but we're pursuing that. Let us know in the chat room if you think it would be great for us to bring her on as a special guest. We're going to be perusing the chat room, and towards the end of the episode, if you have specific questions, we'll try to answer those.
And what we're doing right now, for those of you who are joining the live stream, we might want to put this in the description so we don't have to keep saying it, is we are actually live streaming while we're watching our television show, RhettandLink Commercial Kings, on IFC. So it's like watching it with us at the same time. This is going to happen every week. This first week, this is the premiere week, so we showed the first episode at 10 o'clock, and we showed the first episode again at 10:30. But next week, and then every week after that, you're going to see the previous week's episode at 10:30, and that's the one you can watch with us. It's simple. You don't even need a GED to understand this.
Here we go. I see that I'm pointing the camera at the ground, filming a cat in between my legs. The one thing about this show, I don't think there's many shows out there where the hosts film themselves and then off camera argue about who gets to film and who gets to be filmed. I think that was the main source of argumentation between the two of us as we were making this television show was...
Who gets to film who?
Yeah, who gets to... Well, the arrangement was you got to film me and I got to film you. That wasn't what we were arguing about. We were arguing about who got to film who more. Because, we're both kind of camera hogs.
But it took me a while to learn that I wasn't supposed to film me when I had the camera also. It took me a second to learn, I need to turn this on, Link. He needs some attention. He needs some love.
At this point in the show, we're deciding that we want to direct this commercial directly to cats.
Well, the reason we did that is because Margaret speaks cat. She communicates with these cats, and you just got a little taste of that. But this woman knows all 2,700 words that cats understand.
It's 27 words?
2,700.
I think it may be, the truth is somewhere in between those two numbers. And now we're with Judy Rudin at the Super Schmuddle. She's across town, and I'm just don't have a lot of experience with pets. I did have a couple of dogs, and I did have one cat growing up, but it just never turned out right. In other words, my animals always died somehow. So I was nervous about this episode, especially being one of the first ones that we shot. That, was Judy or Margaret, were they going to pick up on the fact that we were not in our element?
We're not good with animals.
We weren't great with animals.
Okay, what I'm trying to do here is I'm looking at the chat, and I see a lot of people are just talking about how great the show was, or they're asking questions that are completely irrelevant, which we expected that. So what I'm going to also do is I'm going to look over here at the Twitter feed, and for those of you who want to use the hashtag #CommercialKings and ask questions about the show right now, I'm actually going to look at those too and answer those in this live stream. But if you want to ask relevant questions, I'll also look at those and answer them.
The Hardy Boy 16 asks, "Do you hate dogs?" No, I wasn't saying that I hated dogs, and I definitely wasn't insinuating that I killed my own pets. I mean, all pets will die sooner or later.
Yep.
I hate to break that to you.
Stay tuned, and we'll tell you a story about that very thing happening.
Are we going to tell that story?
I'm going to tell it.
If they hang around long enough, we'll tell the story.
Yes.
That'll be the reward.
Zero Ses Homero O, it's a great username, says, "My cat enjoyed your commercial," big smiley face. So that means that you actually let your cat watch the commercial and it responded. Well, we heard lots of reports. We actually had some people submit YouTube videos of their cats watching the cat commercial, because that one incidentally has been out there on YouTube for about 2 weeks.
I saw a comment here. Metal Slugs Master says, "Link seems like a cat person to me. Rhett, more of a dog guy." I think that's true. What is it? First of all, what does that mean? What does it mean that I seem like more of a cat
I
person?
think you look more feline. And I have a beard.
So the more hair you have, the more prone you are to be a dog person?
Commercial break.
I would say that I am. If I was forced to purchase an animal or adopt an animal right now, it would probably be a cat, because they just lay around and be content. I would feel guilty, key word of the episode, to not give my dog the time of day. But a cat is just like, if you leave them alone, it seems like that's what they want. So I think for that reason, because of the low maintenance, I'm a cat person.
But it's about companionship. And I believe that a dog provides more genuine affection and companionship.
I've got plenty of companionship. I've got a wife, I've got progeny, and when it worst comes to worst, I've also got you.
But you can't just give your kids anything. Like, you can't just find something in a trash can and give it to your kids to eat. I mean, I know you do that occasionally, but you can do that with a dog.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, sir.
Somebody just asked.
But are you a dog person?
I'm 100% human, actually.
I think you're misunderstanding the question, but let's just continue.
Someone asked, "How many episodes this season, guys?" And they're going to be 10. That means 9 more after this one.
Every time you watch an episode, Friday nights at 10, boom, there's going to be another one right after it, like what's happening right now. And boom, there's going to be a live internet broadcast like what's happening right now. Are you thrilled? What just happened there was a little snippet called a Podbuster. That's called when you get Act 1 of our television show, and then you get something great called a Podbuster. You gotta watch it. You're gonna miss it. It's just a little part that it's like a little seasoning for the show. And for that one, we revealed that Judy plays full body harmonica. She did not tell us that she was going to play the harmonica, much less roll around on the ground playing the harmonica with dogs smothering her.
But Judy is actually a professional harmonica player. That's actually what she does in addition to taking care of dogs at the Super Schmuddle. She played harmonica for 4 non-blondes. And I don't just mean 4 random brunettes. I mean the actual band called 4 non-blondes. What's going on? That song, I
thought that was Marvin Gaye. What's going on?
That's a different one. I think Marvin Gaye was in 4 non-blondes.
He was non-blonde. She was a.
This is true.
Judy was a very talented harmonicist. Is that how you say it? Harmonicist?
I say harmoniker. Owl City 125 says, how long did it take you guys to make the commercial for Cats? Well, it takes as long as you see in the show. You mean to like come up with the idea?
What are you you're talking like 48 seconds.
Yeah.
Like the production. Oh, they're
You mean
teasing other
once
episodes
we
here.
go back home? Once we go back home, it takes anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, and then we take it back, and you'll see at the end of the episode we go back and we show it to the business owner to get their authentic reaction to it.
One of the things that's being promoted right now on the show is the Loco Awards. We'll be telling you more about this later, but you can know everything you need to know right now. You can win $250 in a raffle by voting for your favorite local commercial at ifc.com/RhettandLink. You can scroll down to the bottom and see Loco Awards. Nominate your favorite local commercial, preferably not one that we've made, because we'll be like judging what the best ones are. So we're talking like from your area, your favorite local commercial. If it's on YouTube or Vimeo, you can embed it and then vote. Every time you do, you're in it for a chance to win $250.
Listen to this link. DShields13 says on Twitter with hashtag Commercial Kings, just watch Commercial Kings. This could be an overstatement. Easily the most brilliant show on television. Brings local commercials to a whole new level.
I think that with 140 characters...
There it is, best show on television.
What she wasn't able to say was easily the best show on television that Rhett and Link have made.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's only 140 characters. She ran out of that.
It was truncated.
She ran out of the qualifier that best thing you guys have ever done on television.
Will you guys ever come to Las Vegas? Hello Kitty Cakeable asks. I hate to break it to you, Hello Kitty Cakeable, but we can, and we already did. And we made a commercial there, so it will air this season. So watch for your beloved Las Vegas to have its own Rhett and Link commercial. It's going to happen.
Now we're going to Pet Mania here, a pet store in Los Angeles.
This is market research.
We're trying to make a commercial that will actually reach out there and grab the attention of dog owners. And where do dog owners go other than dog parks? Go to the pet store. And then that's where we ganged up on them and talked to them and got them to tell us what these ladies told us, and that was that they feel guilty when they leave that. Look how small that little dog is, though.
This guy right here who was smiling a lot, you had this whole other exchange with him that I really got a kick out of about. He just kept smiling. You remember that? You kind of called him out on it. He said that he was incapable of not smiling.
I started talking to him about, you don't see this in the show, but I started talking to this guy about dogs being left in cages at home. And he just had this little smile on his face, and I just didn't smile back at him. And then I said, "You think that's funny? You think it's funny that dogs are left in cages?"
You were being nice, kind of nice.
Well, I thought he liked dogs being left in cages.
You look like you're leaning over, like you're like about to tell me a secret. So on a couple of levels, I'm uncomfortable.
I'm just trying to keep my head out from the middle of the sun.
Seashine Productions asks on the YouTube chat, how long does it take to film each episode? I'm going to say 2 days. Is that accurate?
Well, for this episode,
what sounds more fantastic?
it's 2 days at a business. So for this so we spent 2 days with Judy. Spent a day with Judy, getting to know Judy and the Super Schmuddle, and then we go back for a second day, make the commercial, and the same with Margaret. So 4 days total. But we're getting ahead of ourselves because Link did a great thing here. We said we wanted to experiment with some things to get a cat and actually see how they would interact with sounds and visuals. And Link actually was here in our production office working on this, and I walk in there and he's got this laptop and he's right in front of it.
Yeah, I filmed all this, of course.
And he's got bubble wrap and he's just twisting it.
And colored construction paper, because I mean there's so many variables to a local commercial, one of which is color.
I thought you had just gone on like a crafts binge. I was like, Link is really crafty. Look at him. But it was for the show.
But you know how bubble wrap is so addictive to humans, and it's such an attention getter for animals. But
I didn't know that until you tried it.
Well, it is, and point proven.
Now this is my favorite part of the show because it really focuses in on me and me being funny.
He's joking. It is funny though.
I had those of you who have been fans for a while and may have watched Good Morning Chi-Link, and I break out my special DJ, smooth 99.1 DJ voice here in a second.
Yeah, if you watched our morning show, Good Morning Chi-Link, from, I guess, a few months back, that's when we first discovered that Rhett had a radio voice.
Yeah.
Which is in this episode, and in a later episode that we shot in Nevada, you broke out your radio voice.
I did just my DJ voice. It wasn't my smooth radio
okay.
voice. See, I'm about to do.
Look at these cats. There's these cats. Yeah, she's asking for a smooth voice.
See, I'm doing my smooth voice right now.
What was that you were reading when you were like, Hortense sat quietly in the corner?
It was we had to do something that was in the public domain.
Right.
So we just found, I don't even know what it was. It was something about Hortense cutting cabbage. And Aunt Esmeralda, which I can't even say Esmeralda, so I don't know why I chose that.
Okay, and now it's when we bring in Terry, the pet psychic. We go to great lengths to make the perfect local commercial for each of our clients, and so we knew when we wanted to reach cats directly, and we also thought it would be a lot of fun to bring in Terry, the pet psychic. We met Terry, I would say 2 minutes before what you see happened. It's just like, we want everything to be really in the moment. We want everything to be authentic. So what the cameras catch and what you get to see in the show is a reflection of what actually happened to us. I know that, we can get jaded watching reality shows because you're led to think, well, how much of this is set up ahead of time? Well, obviously we set it up for Terry to meet us there, but we didn't meet her until basically you see right there.
And Grant B. Phillips asked a question about the cat mind reading lady, which pet psychic is a shorter way to say that. But did the cat mind reading lady convince you of her abilities? Well,
she did convince you to make that noise. What was that? Are you speaking cat?
Yes. No, this is actually gerbil.
Look at that quasar over your shoulder, right? Just go like that a little bit. It's just like...
This is the apocalypse. Look at that thing.
You have the power at any moment to just shift your head to the side like Michael Jackson and like emit a quasar right into our camera. I wish I had a quasar. Can we switch places?
I think it's actually a white dwarf. And by that I mean a stage of the sun, not like a condition and an ethnicity. All right.
Crazy.
Commercial Kings is still on, Link.
Yeah, it is. I've seen this episode so many times. It's like, okay, whatever. You got to watch it a lot.
I mean, now Margaret really, she was so into this, what Terry had to say, because like she's saying right here that I've always felt something. I knew I was communicating with these cats, and it was like, I mean, we let these two ladies just spend some time together, and after this we just left, and we came back like 2 hours later, and they're just sitting there talking. So we created a new friendship between Margaret and Terry. Oh, let's tell that story, Link.
And there's the epic fall. We decided to shoot all of these amazing, what we would call amazing, shots of us like going downstairs, coming out of doors, and freezing and like turning with the camera. We call those a stinger. I don't know what
I call them a bumper.
A bumper? Well,
yeah.
When you see it, it stings, especially that one in particular. So I just thought it would be cool to, look at this alleyway. It's like, let's set up a locked off shot. I sent Rhett back like 100 yards and like we set focus. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to meet you out there. We're going to run towards the camera at full speed. And I also had this idea that in order for me to give a better performance than Rhett, I was going to maintain eye contact with the camera the entire time. Like I was not going to look away.
Well, keep in mind, during this entire thing, I'm the one who actually has a camera. I'm the one who is actually concentrating on acting like I'm filming you and running at the same time.
And I was concentrating on on locking eyes with the other camera.
Which is complicated.
I mean, I was giving an Olympic effort. I was just full on.
Well, all I remember is that we didn't discuss the speed that we were going to run before we began running. We just said, let's just go down here and let's run at the camera.
We do it like we do everything, right?
And I think
full out.
I'm thinking I'm going to go 75%. I don't like to go 100% for anything anymore, not since high school. So all of a sudden, Link is just he is gone like a bullet. I'm like, well, I can't look bad. I got to keep up with him.
Yeah.
So I turn it on. I'm like, we are at top speed, right? We are totally at top speed. And then I realize I feel alone in my running now.
There was like a tree root had made a buckle in the concrete, and I just, it caught in such a perfect way that it catapulted me 10 yards forward right on my elbow, which is almost now fully recovered. But I thought I broke it.
I was sure you had broken it, and that's why we kept rolling. and someone broke out an iPhone and began filming it. And incidentally, we have footage of that we at some point are going to release online, the extended version of Link nearly dying.
They did not find a break, but I went to the emergency room and they took an x-ray and I was in a lot of pain. I'm not going to lie to you. But like I said, you can see it and you can TiVo it all you want, but we'll also release it on YouTube as Link's Epic Fail or something like that. I don't know. Whatever you guys think we should call it, you can let us know in the chat room.
Thanks to those of you who are joining us now. This is Commercial Kings Live, and what that means is that we are watching the East Coast feed of Rhett and Link Commercial Kings on IFC right now. It's the 10:30 feed. Every single week, the encore presentation of the previous week's episode is going to be on at 10:30, and we're going to watch it with you. And we've learned that even if you're on the West Coast, if you have Time Warner Cable and possibly DirecTV, maybe some other ones, there's actually a East Coast feed that you can watch on the West Coast at 7:30, so you can actually watch with us.
Wow.
So East Coast, West Coast. Now this is when we come back to Judy and the Super Schmuddle.
Yeah, we do. You know,
ready to make the commercial.
Okay, yeah, are we making the commercial or are we showing her the commercial? How far along? We're
making
the commercial.
This is making the commercial.
Okay, so we decided that we wanted to use guilt to our advantage.
Okay, we have to stop right now.
We had to choose the most sad-looking dog in order to elicit the most guilt-laden feelings from the audience.
You see how sad that dog looks? His name is Sundance.
Right.
Or should I say, his name was Sundance.
Yeah, we got, we didn't kill the dog, right?
No, we didn't kill the dog. But I'm saying that we
made the dog.
I picked the saddest dog in the entire collection of dogs. And the dog was so sad that he died after his appearance in the commercial.
Listen, no, when we went back to show the commercial, one of the first things Judy told us was, Sundance has passed away. But it didn't happen while we were there.
No,
and
it didn't
happen as a result of us
didn't.
shooting a commercial.
Totally coincidental. And what we learned is that Judy told us that Sundance's owner was honored that Sundance had his last moment in the sun, no pun intended, in the commercial.
Well, in the crate in the commercial.
Yeah. I mean, he's like the saddest dog I've ever seen in my life.
That dog should get like a dog Oscar. Do they give those out?
Dogsker.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say about this whole dog humping scene.
I was hoping to carry the sad thing about the dead dog throughout the humping scene so we didn't even have to talk about it, but now you brought it up.
A picture's worth 1,000 words. I'm not gonna belabor the point. I will say that it wasn't my idea. I think that's gross.
It certainly appeared to be your idea in the show.
Oh, really?
Well, actually, the dog humping, I'll be completely honest with you, the dog humping idea came from an older commercial in which we had two tortoises hump. I guess that's what you call it when two tortoises do it.
Yeah.
But
shell-shocked.
And we got this from a zookeeper at the Central Florida Zoo. We were like, we really want to end this commercial with a bang. He says, well, I got two tortoises. All I got to do is let them at each other, and they'll start humping. And
right.
So we said, okay, sounds like a great way to end a commercial. And so when we...
Right, so that's our Central Florida Zoo commercial. I mean, that commercial features lots of distasteful things. Mostly animals pooping. But then some tortoises humping as well. So, whatever it takes. You're going to talk about it, right? I mean, and, you'll see how we used the shot in the commercial. It wasn't like we took an extended shot of Mosley and made that the whole commercial, though we did think about it.
Somebody said, I'm so confused, I'm going to bed. And I think what you mean by that is that you don't understand what's going on, and you've tuned into this live broadcast, and you don't understand that this is Rhett and Link Commercial Kings Live. And what that means is we are watching our television show live on IFC with you. So if you don't have the show to watch, it's not going to be the same experience. Now, if you're in America, you know what you can do next week? If you don't have IFC and all you have is this live broadcast, you can go to iTunes, Amazon, Xbox, and you could download, or however it works, you can commandeer digitally the episode, and then you can watch that with us next week, because it'll become available every Saturday after the Friday broadcast. So if you don't have IFC, you can still enjoy this enhanced viewing experience by watching it with us and going over there to iTunes or whatever and getting the episode.
And then after this break here is when we start revealing the commercials, right? So this is where it gets really good, right? This is what you've been waiting for. Oh my gosh, what do they do? How does this all come together? You know, I mean, hopefully you're sensing some of the pressure that we feel. I mean, we basically have 48 hours, give or take, you know, from the moment we show up to the time when we've got to have a commercial shot entirely. And it's a relief when we have it all in the can. We can go back, and then editing, you know, you can work as long as you want, but you can only shoot what you've shot once it's shot. Does that make sense?
Yes, complete sense.
Don't listen.
Remember, if you're going to be on, we live tweet during the 10 o'clock broadcast every single week. So at Rhett MC and Link Lamont, you can follow us and use the hashtag Commercial Kings to ask us questions, to comment on the show. We'll interact with you. We're reading all those tweets with that hashtag Commercial Kings. We want to get this thing trending. I don't know if it happened this time, but next week, let's get Commercial Kings trending on Twitter. And if you don't know,
so here's Margaret's commercial. She's watching it for the first time, and you've probably seen it on YouTube because we released it. But the Doggy Superschmodel commercial, which you haven't seen yet, we will release that one on Monday on our YouTube channel. So be looking for that. I love the way that she speaks cat. You know, it's like some of it's like her mouth opens, some of it her lips stay pursed together, and her cheeks puff out.
Well, she's been doing this for like 50 years. And a lot of, you know, the reason that we have these cats going across the screen, and incidentally, we went across the screen. A lot of people haven't noticed that, but we make a cameo in every one of our commercials. And you see us go in the little toy car. The reason we did that is because Margaret said you got to keep these cats engaged, because the whole idea is that this commercial starts, you bring your cat to the television, and you want him to stay there. So we use the sound of the bubble wrap, we got the laser pointer thing, we got Margaret speaking, and then we got these images.
And look, Margaret loves it. You know, it always feels good when you get an enthusiastic response for making a commercial, because you don't know how they're going to respond.
And not only did she like the commercial, but we actually heard that she got 2 new clients as soon as we released that thing on YouTube, just a couple of days later.
She's probably gotten more than that now. Now, Judy, on the other hand, I had a hunch that she was going to have an enthusiastic reaction to her commercial, because she's enthusiastic about everything. There is that one shot right there of the dog. There's Sundance right there, in the midst of her stardom. There's a shot there where the dog's staring at the tennis ball, which that was not an easy shot to get, because you gotta. The dog was waiting for us to pick up the tennis ball, right? But we had to get the dog to stay back and act like there was nobody there.
It wasn't easy, but I think what ended up happening is you got in some special stance or something with the camera, or I did, and then it was awkward for a little bit.
Yeah, I think I had to.
I'm glad it wasn't captured on camera.
And there's the slow head turn of the dog in the kitchen.
That dog, that beagle in that shot that looks so sad, is like 18 years old.
And is still living, as far as we know.
Yeah.
And here's Judy's response to her commercial.
Danya10007 says, I am missing a party for this, and it's great. And I don't think you mean the party's great and you wish you were there. I think you mean you're glad that you're here with us. We appreciate it.
Rob's 709-86987 says, I don't know why I put so many numbers in my username. He also says, I usually can't stand television, but that was great. Ha ha!
Awesome.
We got a double ha from Rob's 709-86987. Is that your phone number? Should we call it?
Yeah, call it now. The Memeno says, approximately how much do you spend making each local commercial? Usually nothing. I think for these it was 0 on both.
Yeah, we borrowed the crates, and I mean, whatever we found, we used.
Did you spend money on that construction paper? That was really not the commercial, though. That was pre-production.
Yeah, but I did have to buy some bubble wrap and construction paper.
So maybe $7.
And now we're at the ending of the show where we say something facetious about what they're doing now. Isn't that great? You can look forward to that every week.
And there it was, Link.
Don't clap at your own television show.
Okay, sorry. I was clapping for you. I really enjoyed your contribution to this.
Okay, the show is over. Next on IFC, you have Young, Broken, Beautiful. We're going to watch Young, Broken, Beautiful, but at the same time, we're going to continue to broadcast a little bit. If you have some questions for us, for the next few minutes, we will willingly read your questions, but we will only willingly answer the questions that we deem worth answering.
Yes, so definitely, if you're watching on IFC, just continue watching. Young, Broken, Beautiful is premiering right now. We premiered tonight. Now Stuart and his show, Young, Broken, Beautiful, is premiering, and we're excited to watch it. We won't be talking about it, though, because I don't know anything about it. We'll be watching it. Remember, if you want to ask questions on Twitter, #CommercialKings, or you can ask a question right here in the chat. We'll be on for a few more minutes. We may even answer some questions that are completely unrelated to Commercial Kings, but I'm not making any promises.
Yes, I'm reading through these if you have something you want to ask. Pip J. Malt asks, will there be another epic rap battle? And when the time is right, there will be one. It has not been made yet. When the time is right.
Renee Roderer, a faithful mythical beast. I see you on Facebook and Twitter all the time, Renee. Thanks for the question. She says, so what commercials will be on the next episode? Want to give us some anticipation?
Ooh, anticipation.
Next week, the theme of the show is the American Dream. We meet two owners who are immigrants from other countries who came to America, started a business.
As opposed to immigrants from this country?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Immigrants from other countries.
And you already know a couple of them, Roger and Deepika of the presidential car wash commercial, the best rap ever that's out there on YouTube already. You're going to get to meet Roger and Deepika and see exactly how that whole commercial went down. And you're also going to meet Willie, one of the most charismatic dudes. Definitely the guy, he gets more excited about hot dogs than any guy I've ever met in my life.
Lil WH asks, is this the only episode of Commercial Kings that has commercials animals? So I'm going to interpret that, and I'm going to change that into a question. Is this
Just
the
animals?
Is this the only commercial you made featuring animals, these two, for this premiere episode? The answer is no. We worked with potentially hundreds of animals in another episode for a taxidermist.
But all the animals are dead, except for one turkey.
They were very cooperative, I will say that.
There is a live turkey, a live pig, and some goats in that episode.
In another episode, we worked with a dangerous python.
We did.
And let's see. In another episode, we worked with a dangerous chihuahua. Like the size of a mobile home.
And you know what I totally forgot about? We actually worked with a human who was working tirelessly to surgically transform himself into an animal.
So if you love animals, you'll love our show, people. Keep coming back. Fridays at 10, 9 Central on IFC. Animal lovers from around the world. I'm a cat person. Did I mention that? Rhett is a dog person. Neither one of us have pets.
Strong's Tartonopian says, a taxidermist? ? Exclamation point. I'm both questioning that, but I'm also excited about it. Yes, a taxidermist. Chuck Testa. That's in a few episodes. We go up to Ojai, California, and spend some time with Chuck Testa, one of my favorite people on earth. Chuck has a taxidermized rhinoceros that makes an appearance in his commercial.
Huh. I kind of love you, asks. I was not making conversation there.
Okay.
I kind of love you, asks, do you like Wonder Woman? Would you do a commercial on her? It's just like...
How about for her is probably a better way to phrase that.
I'm married. I'm not going to do a commercial on anybody.
Yeah. I don't think Wonder Woman needs a commercial. She has an invisible jet. It's like advertising in the sky at all times.
The fuel cost for that thing is just through the roof, though. I mean, she's got to get some marketing going.
Invisible fuel is at least $7 a gallon right now. I can't participate via iTouch, but I watched you show on 2 TVs tonight, and I wish you the best. Says BD Brahmo. 2 TVs.
Ted from work asks, this isn't live.
Haha, proved you wrong, Ted from work. Go back to work, Ted. What are you doing here?
Let's see. Let's get my chat window back where it needs to be.
Do you remember how to speak cat? Yes, I do. JPizzle1144.
J Pizzle.
I think this is I don't think that's the J Pizzle, is it?
There's plenty of J Pizzles, but there's only one true J Pizzle.
What do you think, J Pizzle?
But she also did. You know when she did that?
Yeah, I can't do it.
Where does Link get his glasses? Random Jenny T, he asks. I get my glasses from Tony.
Ludo Lover 1 says, is the episode at 10:30 an encore of the 10 o'clock episode, or is it different? Great question.
Confusing answer.
This week, the answer to that is yes, but this is the only week in which that is the answer, because from every week from here on out, it will be the encore episode at 10:30 will be the episode that you watched the previous week at 10 o'clock. You understand? You see the previous week's episode after that week's episode every week. But there is no previous week, because if there was a previous week to the premiere, that would be like the beginning of the apocalypse. How would that even, it's not even possible. How can you have something preceding a premiere?
I got some in my ear. Can you help me with that?
No.
Okay, I think we're about to wrap things up here. Killer Dope 98 asks, can you actually speak Morse code? Certainly. He asked me, man. He didn't ask you. I can speak. You can't speak.
It's pretty easy, actually.
First of all, try that. That's kind of lame. It's more like, it's not. It's.
I like it when it comes out of the side. Bird Chick asked on Twitter,
Play that back and tell me what I said. Write it down.
Is it hard to work with people who have never acted before on Commercial Kings? Actually, it's fun to work with people who've never acted before. That's the beauty of a local commercial, is you have someone who may or may not have ever been on camera. Now, Margaret, for one, was a child actress. We learned that about Margaret. She came to Hollywood at a young age and was like, back with Shirley Temple and that kind of thing. I don't know how old she is. But she gave up on that and started taking care of cats. And then 20 cats turned into 40, and then 40 turned into 60, and now she's got like 100.
Well, she doesn't own them all, right? They're boarding there. Their owners are paying for them to stay there. At least that's what we've been told.
That is correct.
Drummer Girl 572 asks, what does Randler stand for? Randler is the official mascot of the official RhettandLink community. If you want to be your mythical best, be a RhettandLink super fan, you can join the RhettandLink community and become a mythical beast. Your mascot will be the Randler, a mouse with antlers, and a mythical wing/tail scenario thing happening. Randler stands for Rhett and Link, I think, or something. Yeah. The community, you people, you came up with it, and it's great.
Okay, one more question for each of us. How about that, Link?
Okay. Then we're wrapping. This is our fair warning that we're wrapping things up. Continue to enjoy Young, Broken, Beautiful on the channel IFC, and continue to enjoy your YouTube videos on the youtube.com. Preferably ours.
Hey, I'm Willie. That's a username. He says, will y'all still be posting skits on YouTube? And the answer is yes. Well, first of all, we're going to be putting all the commercials from Commercial Kings up on our YouTube channel, and maybe some other stuff from Commercial Kings throughout the next 10 weeks. But yes, we're going to continue doing stuff on YouTube, and we're continuing to try to involve you guys through the interwebs, through things like this. But no, I mean, obviously we hope to continue making local commercials for a very long time, but we're going to continue making YouTube videos, but there's only two of us, one thing at a time, right?
Or just a couple of things at a time. There are things in the works, of course. Okay, last question of the evening, back to local commercials. What gave you the idea to start making local commercials? I'll answer this question, but we want to go ahead and reboot here and say that people, thank you for being your mythical best. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is an experimental new thing going on here. Television show plus live internet show equals what?
I don't know, but we've been asking around. Has this been done before? Have you ever watched a television show on television, and at the same time you could watch it with the guys from the television show on the internet? I don't think it's happened before. We should have a plaque or something.
if you have any ideas to...
Or at least bracelets of some kind.
Yeah, I'm into that. Silly bands. If you have any ideas to improve the experience, your viewing experience with this enhanced live internet thingy, go to facebook.com/RhettandLink and or facebook.com/CommercialKings and let us know what you thought about tonight. Obviously, we want to hear what you think about the show, and we want to know that you're committed to being here with us
And
for us every Friday night.
Continue spreading the word about Commercial Kings. There were a lot of really nice things written and said about Commercial Kings this week, but it's just the beginning. We think the shows continue to get better as the season goes on. We've got a lot of really great commercials coming, a lot of really great characters that you're going to meet. And we're just excited about this show. We had a blast making it. We're continuing to have a blast watching you enjoy it. So continue spreading the word. Now, if you don't have IFC, you can go to ifc.com and find out how you can get that added to your cable package. And if you're not going to do that and you're in America, you can download Commercial Kings from iTunes, Amazon, Xbox the next day. So like tomorrow, you'll be able to go to those places and download tonight's episode. And then next week, we're actually going to watch this episode again together for our enhanced viewing encore presentation. But we're hoping that we're going to get Miss Margaret here in the studio with us, and maybe she'll bring a cat or a 75.
Chris, throw up that Facebook info, and I'll answer the last question here. Okay, the Popcorn Weasel number 4 asked a minute ago. Actually, I'm sorry, that is not what the Popcorn Weasel asked. Olivia, I'm not answering your question. Oh, hi, Olivia is the one I wanted to answer. What gave you the idea to start making local commercials? And this can be your assignment. You know, if you don't know what to do right now, first thing you can do is you can search YouTube for Worst Commercial Ever, and that is a commercial spoof we made for the Discount Seafood Warehouse in Boston proper. Can anybody say lobster?
Lobster.
Did anybody say clams?
Clams.
Yeah, so that's what we did. And then we had the idea to make real local commercials for real businesses, and we never looked back! We never looked back!
Good night, everyone, especially the field hockey girl who said 3 seconds ago, love you guys. This just made my night. Heart sign.
Hit us up on the Facebook. Thanks for watching. See you next Friday. How should we end this?
Like that.
Like this?